And I'm not going to tell you I saw anything because I didn't. And I didn't hear anything except for this. The complete and utter absence of noise. Birds, insects, every fucking thing just went to nothing. All you could hear was the little bit of breeze in the trees as they kind of, did their thing in the air. And I'm gonna tell you, the hair on the back of my neck stood up. Hello everybody, Terrence Popp here with another episode live from the Lair. And today, these are stories that took place between 2013 and 2018. When I was, in upstate New York, everyone kept telling me, oh, it's so beautiful up here, the woods are great, blah, 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 And, I'm a former ranger, hanging out in the woods and patrolling and in the jungles and the swamps and the mountains and the deserts are my cup of tea. I spent, decades, doing that kind of shit. I prefer, usually, since I spent so much time sleeping on the ground in tick-infested leaves, that I usually opt to not camp in a tent, or if I have to, I go in a RV of some type. But all things being equal, I was getting older, and wanted to see if I could still hang. Decided I got a wild hair up my ass, and I was going to go do a walkabout in it's at the Finger Lake National Forest, and a little bit in the Connecticut Wildlife Preserve. It's by Seneca Lake. Finger Lake, there's long lakes that, used to be part of the Great Lakes. They're isolated now. High ground pretty much all the way around them. I would say, foothill, mountainish type stuff. I had come across in the unit because, I did a lot of walkabouts through that building. I'll get to those stories, at another time, but I had found a box of old military maps, of New York State, and then I found the 3 adjoining maps that pretty much covered all of the Finger Lake area, and so I knew that I could navigate it with the lensatic compass. Just have to set your GM angles correctly by the key at the bottom of the map. Of you guys out there that don't know how to land nav old style with a map and a compass and a protractor, I'm speaking above your pay grade right now. I also had a GPS. I prefer not to use it, or just to check my current locations, if I'm walking long distance. Now there are some foot trails that go right through on a national forest. People ride horses and shit in there. But, just for shits and giggles, I remember I packed up my rucksack. I took a poncho, some bungee cords, 550 cord. I had a fire starting kit. I took one of those small little fishing rods that you take it out to normal length and it collapses down really small. And I had a small tackle box with hooks, a few lures, extra string. I took a little bit of snivel gear, extra socks. I put on my DCU jungle boots, and I wore my usual cargo pants that I have here. Now I kind of went off the rail with, and I did this because I really didn't tell anybody I was going out there to do this. I didn't think anything of it. It didn't really dawn on me that I could get hurt, because I usually don't get hurt too substantially. I mean, I know I look pretty normal and not like exceptionally big or overly strong or have superhuman endurance, but I have taken some fucking wicked fucking hits, in the military and in the real world and in the ring as a professional fighter, that would flatten lesser men. I mean, I hit by a fucking vehicle in Panama, got up and fucked those guys up. So I'm pretty fucking tough. And I didn't get hurt. But the thought of me, looking back on it, the thought of me not actually informing anybody of the shit that I was gonna fucking do kind of fucked with me. So, I didn't tell any of my buddies or my chain of command where I was going or what I was doing. It was a 4-day fucking weekend. I wasn't going home to see my kids because the fucking ex-whore, it was her time. And I was getting fucking ripped off. So, I got a wild hair up my ass, and I wanted to go fucking do something different. So I remember I drove out there to the National Forest, and there's little parking areas that you could park your car. And, I parked my car, and then on the hood of the car, it used to say, Sergeant First Class Popp, United States Army, cell phone number. If you need to contact me, call that number, and I put it up there. And that one was there all the time. And then I put another note, hiking, blah, blah, blah. Now, I did acquire a small games hunting license because I intended to carry a firearm, a shotgun basically, up into when I was doing the hike. Because for those of you that don't know this, black bears are 4-legged, hairy fucking sharks. They will fucking run you down and kill you for the sole purpose that you are a food item. I really didn't care for that, so I took a 12 gauge. I took a Mossberg 500 riot shotgun and I had 3 full sets of shells and double-aught buckshot, and I had about a half a dozen shells of slug. Because, I think slugs, bears respond better to slugs, I guess. They quit doing pesky things like coming after you and moving, breathing, living, stuff like that. I didn't plan on going hunting. Wasn't really wanting to shoot anything. But I am fucking not on any fucking thing's menu. Period. So I walked around the National Forest for the first day. I stopped and they have these really cool streams and I would say small rivers that feed the Finger Lakes. And everyone told me that it was great trout fishing. So, I went out there and I fished. I caught I think it was 5 or 6 fish, and 3 of them were keepable. So I kept the 3 fish. I decided I was going to set up a camp for the night. I cooked the fish, made them for dinner. They went. I brought a bunch of garlic salt, sea salt. I had a couple lemons with me, black pepper, and some various other little spices in the spice kit. Took a little skillet with me, and I cooked it up, and everything was golden. It was pretty fucking good. And after dinner, I went to, for another little jaunt around to the area where I was camping at to make sure, I wasn't near like somebody's hunting blind or some fucking homeless guy living in a cabin in the fucking woods, or any other interlopers or whatever. I didn't see anything. I went out to, 200, 250 meters in a 360-degree circle around my campsite. And I didn't really have any issues. So I set up my hooch, put down my ground mat, put down my ground pad, started setting up my Merlin 3 little, compressible sleeping bag, which is good down to 30 degrees. I had that in a poncho liner, so no matter if it got fucking cold, it wasn't matter. And I think it was early summer, late spring. I don't remember the exact days for the holiday, for that matter. And I spent like I said before, I spent a lot of time out in the woods. It's nothing new to me. It doesn't really bother me at all. I'm used to the sights and sounds of the woods, jungle, desert, prairie, Arctic, whatever. I mean, I've done it all. And I would say it was somewhere around 10 o'clock. It was dark, and it was fucking dark as fuck there. Because when you're in that fucking forest and the sun goes down, it's fucking dark. It's like triple canopy jungle dark. And except for once in a while you can see the stars, It's quite relaxing. And you hear a lot of insects and shit like that. And shortly after 10 o'clock, I don't remember the exact time. And I'm not going to tell you I saw anything, because I didn't. And I didn't hear anything except for this. The complete and utter absence of noise. Birds, insects, every fucking thing just went to nothing. All you could hear was the little bit of breeze in the trees as they kind of, did their thing in the air. And I'm gonna tell you, the hair on the back of my neck stood up, and I felt like I was fucking being watched. Now, I have felt this feeling many times before when I was out and about doing, shit for the military, put in harm's way. And that feeling has saved my life in the past and the lives of my men. And I knew in my bones that some shit was gonna go fucking down. So I remember I threw like 3 or more fucking big ass logs on the fire, racked my 12 gauge with some buckshot, stepped away from the firelight. I was back about 12 meters, had my back against this huge fucking tree, and I stood there all fucking night, waiting for whatever it fucking was to come to the fucking campfire, and I was gonna fucking smoke it. Kill it deader than fuck. Nothing fucking happened.
Hello there, Brotherhood of the Traveling Teabag. Because YouTube won't let us monetize any videos with Shotgun Rebellion's music, I'm going to show you Jesse Jane's tits while I tell you that you can support these pop-loving patriots by clicking the links in the description below. Subscribe to their channel, watch their music videos, and show these bearded badasses some love.
So, the next morning, once the sun came up, I laid down, I got like 2 hours of sleep. Sleep is overrated, gentlemen. Don't let anyone tell you that. And I packed up my shit, and I decided to just keep moving on. And it was sometime after lunch. I was still, busting around in the forest, fucking around, fishing in other streams and stuff like that, and just doing my own thing. I didn't see anybody. Apparently there's some, the areas, patrolled by the New York equivalent of the DNR, or some kind of forest police or something, but they're usually on horseback or ATVs. I didn't hear anything. And I remember I was fucking sitting on this huge rock, about 3 or 4 feet away from the bank. I jumped onto it so I could get to a little bit of deeper water in one of these river stream things to catch some more fish. And I wasn't fly fishing because that's just stupid. It takes too long. I was just using a bobber and a worm, nothing big. I got the same fucking feeling. And it's hard to explain. It's like a curtain comes down and you don't hear fucking shit. Nothing. All the animals, just fucking birds, insects, just, they're gone. And all you hear is the wind. You can hear the fucking stream. And the fucking hair on the back of my neck stood up again. I immediately jumped off the rock, retrieved my weapon, and waited around for about an hour and a half. Waiting for whatever the fuck it was to show itself, because I was gonna fucking kill it. This is weird. I know you guys are like, Popp, you're fucking full of shit. You're fucking imagining shit. You're PTSDing out, la la la. And I do have PTSD, but it's not triggered by silence. It has very specific triggers that I avoid. And that was pretty much it for me. I wasn't gonna fucking push it for a third time. We had a fish on the line. I let him go. Packed up my fucking fishing equipment, put it in my rucksack, and I walked the fuck out of there. I was about 4 hours away from my vehicle. So by the time I got there, I would say it was like 7, 8 in the evening, and I threw my shit in the trunk, and I just said, fuck this. There is no fucking way I'm doing that again, not without at least a fire team of people. Now, 2 weeks, the reason I'm telling you guys this is because I wrote it off in my head as just, I was just fucking, I'm a combat vet, I was kind of flipping out a little bit. Because I didn't see anything, I didn't hear anything, I didn't see any Bigfoot tracks, there was no fucking animal screeching in the woods, there's none of that shit. Okay, none of it. It was just, a lot of it can be like, written off as my imagination, which I have done. Well, 2 weeks ago, I was watching this documentary on YouTube called Missing Hunters 411. Maybe you guys heard of it? About guys who disappear in national forests and national parks and, in the wild and stuff without a fucking trace. Just people turn around the corner and they're fucking gone. And it's happened to thousands of fucking people over the past 50 years. And if you haven't seen that documentary, you need to. Because after I saw that, and I was like, what the fuck is that? I'm like, man, I hope to God that whatever is fucking doing whatever it is to people out there, wasn't fucking with me. Or maybe it was. But I wasn't having any of that fucking, I wasn't playing any silly games. I'm not your fucking average snot-nosed fucking dumbass. And I'm just a man. But with a 12-gauge shotgun, I can burn a lot of motherfuckers to the ground. Or whatever the fuck it is. And I hope to God that it realized I wasn't fucking gonna lay around and just be the fucking victim and it just fucking passed me by. But so gentlemen, if you go out camping, take a buddy with you. Take a firearm. Take a GPS fucking beacon locator. And make sure you tell fucking people where you're going. Because that's how people get disappeared. Alright, now I'm going to be breaking in some other parts of Live from the Lair, where I'm going to answer some questions from some of the soldiers out there, or veterans. If they have any questions, you can email them to me and I'll probably cover them on the show. So I'm coming to the end of the Army stories that I can remember off the top of my head, and as I go along, sure, I'll have many more, because I'll be reminded by a lot of the stories. All right, so I got an email from a soldier, 19 years old, enlisted in the Army. He wasn't specific on the job he had. I assume it's probably one of the shittier jobs in the Army, but that's fine. And he just said, he wants to get out of the Army. What can he do to get out? Now listen, I'm an honorable dude. When I fucking swear an oath or I give my word, I fucking do it. All right. Now you enlisted in the Army. You enlisted, I'm gonna assume, for 4 years. Because you can go lower than that, but it's not usually taken as much. Usually they do the 4 years. They go in at 18, they come out at 22. The years between 18 and 22 go by that fucking fast. Before you know it, while you're in the military, it'll be payday, 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 payday. Hey, I'm ETSing. It'll be over. It'll be over before you know it. My advice to you is to make the fucking best of it. Use the opportunities that you have at your disposal, especially if you're in a non-combat job. You can easily take college courses at night. You can take fucking courses online. And they will pay for all of that shit while you're in the service. All right, and they're gonna feed you and give you a place to fucking live and give you fucking clothes, and you have to work a job. Okay, if it's not a combat job where you have to deploy or do all some crazy stuff, you'll be fine. Even if you're in a non-combat job and you're deployed to a major FOB, which is a forward operating base, they have the internet. You can continue to do your fucking studies and improve yourself. Okay, now we have to ask some questions. Why? Why the fuck do you not want to be there? Do you have bad leadership? Are they toxic? Are they abusive? Are they fucking doing stupid stuff to you? And I'm not talking about being hard on you to make sure you don't die, or being tough on you to make sure you can fucking do your job efficiently. I'm talking about the above and beyond fucking horse shit that has no fucking business happening in the military or in a work environment. All right, is that what's going on? All right, because I've given this advice to some past fucking E4s in another company of mine. They were having some severe fucking problems with their first sergeant. And I said, listen, you can fucking write up a fucking letter. All three of you could fucking sign it. and take it to the fucking commander. And in fact, there's 3 of you. You're going to E12 the E8. Typically, that's not going to, I'm not going to say it's not going to work. There will be negative repercussions. But usually, if you have leadership that is smart, and they fucking come across a cabal of fucking soldiers who are willing to fucking put shit in writing and send it up the chain, behaviors fucking change. Because that shit has a tendency of attracting attention from up above, which they don't want. Alright? I've always been the NCO that when I was fucking in charge, I made sure the needs of my soldiers were met. I made sure that they were happy, healthy, and wise to the best of my ability. I kept them in the fucking loop. And I always trained all of my soldiers to one day replace me. And if you don't have leadership like that, I have to apologize, but it is what it is. Second part, are you unsatisfied with the job that you have? Okay, I'm not gonna lie to you. Recruiters oversell shitty jobs. They do it all the time because they have quotas for these jobs. They fucking have a mission to fill them. I'm not going to make excuses for them. I'm just telling you the reality of the situation on the ground. Like, for instance, cook. Yay. Was it petrochemical engineer? Which basically means you stand over fuel billets with an M16A2 and hook them up to fucking fuel trucks and make sure you're tracking where all the fuel comes and goes and all that other shit. And be fucking careful, because I saw a dude get smoked, falling onto one of those fuel billets that caught on fire, and the next day when it burned out, all that was left was his fucking boots and lower legs. Everything else was fucking turned to carbon. That's a scary story. It's a shitty job. I'm just saying. Alright. If you're not satisfied with your job, and you're in your first enlistment, there's really not that much you can do. Okay. Except, if you get to the rank of E5 or E4 promotable, you can put in a packet to go to Special Forces. And they will take you, send you through selection, and if you get selected, you're done with that other fucking job, and now your job is to get ready to become a Green Beret and work in that fucking environment. And they'll send you to Airborne School, Halo School, Seer School, Sniper School, all that shit. Okay, that's really the only way you can get out of that fucking job. Other than ride it to the end and then just fucking take your discharge papers, go home, and live the fat and happy life. And and you did your deal. You stood your time on the wall. More power to you. Okay, do you have bad shit going on at home? All right. Is Mary Jane Rotten Crotch fucking taking a fucking quart of throat yogurt and getting, half a gallon dumped directly into the fucking warehouse while you're not fucking there? Welcome to the fucking club. Every swinging Johnson that I have ever known in the military, barring 3 or 4 people, have had their significant other do unlawful, shady fucking upgrades. That's where the Peg D goes into the slot B, slot A, and for some of you people out there who jump the fence, slot B. It's gonna happen. It's happened, and it's probably happening right now as you're watching this fucking video. I'm gonna be honest, there's nothing you can do. What are you gonna do? Run home and, oh please baby, I love you, please, you mean so much to me, I need you. Shut up. Fuck that. Fucking cut the fucking rope, take your fucking licks, and move the fuck on. Improve yourself and do better fucking shit. Okay? Now, I understand emotional pain is probably in the top 3 worst fucking pains you can ever fucking feel. Okay? Got it. And I'm not going to tell you it's not going to ever go away, because usually it doesn't. All it does is lessen in intensity until it becomes an afterthought in the back of your mind if you're unlucky. If you're lucky, you will completely forget about it and recover. If you have a fucking mother, father, or someone close to you that's dying, make sure when they're fucking, close or whatever's going on, they contact the Red Cross and get a Red Cross message to the military, and your fucking ass will be sent home, to deal with that situation for up to like 2 to 4 weeks. Okay, it's mandatory that they have to fucking do it. If the Red Cross message is issued and they don't send you fucking home, you file an IG fucking complaint and careers will fucking end, because that is unfucking acceptable. I believe the IG form is a DA 1559 form, and the IG will not move if you call them on the phone. You need to put it in writing, sign your name to it, and fucking fax it, email it, or mail it, fucking snail mail to them. All right. Do you have people in the unit that are fucking with you and making your life unhappy? Well, just gonna tell you this right now. If you had a bully in your life when you were in grade school and you learned how to deal with that said bully, you probably would not be having this issue right now, because you would have learned to say, fuck you, get out of my face, and pitch a bitch, because most bullies out there are lazy and they don't want to fuck with people that are willing to fight back or challenge them in return. So my advice to you is take some martial arts, learn how to box, learn how to wrestle, and learn how to do it well. Take some jiu-jitsu. Get qualified in combatives 1, 2, and 3. Get in fucking shape. Because guess what? If you can fucking fight and you look intimidating, most people with half a brain are not going to fuck with you. And you'll be a better person for it. Okay, last here. Is it just you? Do you just fucking realize, hey, I made a mistake, I fucking enlisted, wah. I don't fucking care. Alright, you fucking enlisted, ride it out to the end, and then fucking go home. And make the fucking best of it while you're in there. Just like the advice I gave in the fucking beginning. Because I'm going to tell you this right now. I've had hundreds of soldiers tell me this. Hundreds. And I looked them in the eye and I said, listen, you are 19/22, 23 fucking years old. And you want to get out of the Army. Fine. You could probably get out of the Army by playing crazy. You want to fucking disobey orders and failure to adapt. You could probably get out that way. You can go AWOL. You can do drugs, whatever. You'll probably get a less than honorable to a dishonorable discharge. And then you'll have to explain to your children and your grandchildren, if you live that fucking long, why you are such a fucking douchebag in the military. And what weighs an ounce today weighs a fucking ton tomorrow. So don't even fucking put that ounce in your pocket and let it fucking grow. Just shut your mouth, make the best of it, and ride out your fucking time. Okay, I gave that speech to hundreds of soldiers, and I think I've had maybe 2 or fucking 3 not take me up on it. And then later on down the road, I would hear from these soldiers 10, 15 years later, like, yeah, I should have listened to you. I should have stayed in. Oh my God. Fuck. It's too late then. Man up, cowboy up, ranger up, woman up, whatever the fuck you are out there. I don't fucking care. You sign your name on the line, ride out your fucking time. Peace.